guys think this was just another marketing channel? Think again. So you're probably wondering right now, Remzo, what the hell? And yes, we are actually in the haunted Hotel Apache, located inside of Binion's gambling hall. This is considered one of the most haunted hotels, haunted locations in all of Las Vegas. And before I lose you, you're probably thinking, Remzo, I didn't think this was going to turn into a ghost hunting channel or a place where you supposedly go where dead people still talk to people. And it's not just that, even though we're going to have a little bit of fun tonight. No, tonight we're going to go ahead and talk about how to market a haunted experience. What you can go ahead and learn as a business owner or about probably one of the most random things out there. How can you learn some marketing principles based off how a haunted hotel, or supposedly haunted hotel to be fair, markets itself? Because you might not think that you have anything in common, but believe it or not, this extreme example might be able to show you that you have some more similarities than you think. I'm Remso W. Martinez, fractional CMO extraordinaire, one of Las Vegas's top fractional CMOs, and tonight we're going to go ahead and discuss how Binion's uses the Hotel Apache to go ahead and bring in people to its boutique hotel. We're going to talk about paranormal tourism and how places that are haunted can supposedly, use that to bring in more people. You might think I'm a little bit crazy, but there's a background to this, I promise you. There's a reason why we're talking about this. And while we're at it, because I'm an absolute crazy person, I have actually booked a room here tonight, and we're going to see if anything actually happens. So don't worry, you get a little bit of the marketing lessons, you get a little bit of seeing whether or not I freak out if something does happen, get a little bit of Vegas history, and what else do you got going? What else do you got going right now? You've already watched the first minute, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. So I'm going over to Handy Dandy Perplexity, and we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of an understanding as to what I mean by paranormal tourism. Now, if you've gone to any historic city in America, at some point you go online and you go ahead and see ghost tours. Well, over the last 10, 15 years especially, what you've had a lot of is people doing ghost hunts. It's where people will actually pay to be guided into supposedly haunted places, and they will pay for a paranormal experience. Now, if you're like me, you do this all the time. In fact, my wife and I did this on our honeymoon. I mean, don't believe me? Okay, that was at Ripley's Castle on day 2 of our honeymoon, when we went and paid for a ghost hunting experience inside of the first ever Ripley's, believe it or not, in St. Augustine, Florida. And this is what we consider fun. Well, I consider it fun, and she tolerates it because she loves me. Let's go ahead and just talk about what the statistics look like from 2020 through 2025, because over the last 6 years, we especially primarily after the I don't know what to say without getting in trouble on YouTube. The Thing. Remember when The Thing happened? People started getting into all different types of stuff, and I guess that ghost hunting became one of them. So let's go ahead and just read off some statistics I pulled up from Perplexity. So first is first, paranormal and haunted tourism in the U.S. grew materially from 2020 through 2025, with the broader ghost and dark tourism space now worth several $1 billion annually. That's billion with a B. And showing steady post-pandemic growth. Below is a snapshot of the best available stats, blah, 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 all in North America. So let's go ahead and talk about the market size and growth from 2020 through 2025. The global ghost tourism market is estimated to be about $2.1 to $2.14 billion in 2024, with North America accounting for roughly $910 million, or 43% of the total. That means that if you're an American, you're probably a freak like me, and this type of stuff really gets you going. Surveys suggest strong underlying demand. About 41% of American adults say they believe in ghosts or spirits, and 43% say they would explore a haunted site purely for entertainment. I'm not alone. Salem, in Salem, Massachusetts, where all the witch trials and stuff took place, reportedly earns more than 20% of its yearly hotel stays during October alone, driven largely by haunted and Halloween-themed tourism. Jefferson City Penitentiary in Missouri, for example, generated $783,000 in 2022, with ghost tours accounting for over 60% of October sales, highlighting the profitability of paranormal programming within a single site. The broader haunted attractions industry, including haunted houses and events. Like if you're in Vegas, we've got Universal Horror over at Area 15, which is a ton of fun, is estimated around 500 million annually in the United States, with approximately 2,100 for-profit haunted houses, roughly double the number operating in the mid 1990s. So there you have it. I'm not alone. A lot of you are as freaky and into the dark and creepy stuff as I am. So, hope you get a kick out of this one. So you're probably also wondering, Remzo, you live in Vegas. Why aren't you with Juliana tonight? Well, there's a very specific reason that Juliana does not come with me on things like this. But before I get into that, and I'm going to have her explain for herself, there's something you need to know about me, especially if you only discovered me through the channel recently. I've got some weird hobbies that we've already covered. But I've also got a big audience out there that remembers me from something that's not marketing related. In fact, it's nothing even close to marketing. Believe it or not, in my 20s, out of college, my brother and I became full-time content creators, and we actually hosted a public access TV show and popular YouTube series called The Witching Hour, where we and a couple of our friends would film ourselves getting into, I'm not going to say allegedly, because a lot of them, like, this is just a me opinion, this is a Remso opinion, were haunted, like, absolute, like, crazy horror film nonsense stuff. You're probably thinking, I need evidence. And you will get evidence of my award-winning paranormal documentary series, which, as I'm 31, saying it out loud, definitely, to me, makes me wonder, was I definitely all there back then? I'd like to think so, but here's some evidence.
Something about spirit?
Did that door just close by itself?
I'd never experienced that in my life.
I'm getting a lot of that. Yeah, like I'm hearing like walking and crashing upstairs. Whoa.
So someone first told us there was a woman up there, then it was a child.
Correct.
Did you come over to say hello? Me.
All right, honey. So I don't want people to just hear it from me. I thought I would go ahead and ask you why you and I don't go on overnight paranormal investigations
Anymore
anymore.
because
So, yeah.
yeah, well, when Rumso was doing the show with his brother, um, I did come along one time, and it was a church on an old battleground in Virginia, and um, a lot of really freaky things happened that night.
But what
Um,
happened when you got freaked out?
I felt a man's hand touch me, and nobody was behind me.
Well,
And
yeah,
that
that
freaked me
happened.
out.
That freaked you out. But what happened as soon as you got freaked out?
I don't remember.
She
What do
took
you?
my wallet. She grabbed my cell phone. She took my car keys. And then she drove back to my house where my mom was. And I had to grab a ride from a friend of mine who was one of our assistant cameramen. And after that, we made a rule. Jules doesn't go on ghost hunts anymore.
Yeah, that was a weird night. And from then on, I couldn't.
Yeah, it's okay, honey. Well, I will be back in the morning, and I love you.
Love you.
So before the mega resorts, before the fountains and the luxury shopping, Las Vegas was darker, grittier, and some people say deadlier. Hidden inside Binion's on Fremont Street sits the Hotel Apache, one of the oldest surviving hotels in Las Vegas. Opened in 1932, this place has seen mobsters, gamblers, gunfights, and deaths. Employees and guests have reported hearing whispers in empty hallways, seeing shadow figures standing at the ends of the corridors, and hearing phantom footsteps in the rooms with nobody inside. The most famous story? A female spirit said to roam the hotel floor late at night. Some guests claim they've woken up unable to move, while others say they've seen a woman in white staring at them from the hallway before disappearing completely. Even the elevators have a reputation. Guests say they stop on random floors for no reason at all. And maybe the creepiest part about all of this, the Hotel Apache markets itself as the officially haunted hotel of Las Vegas. In a city built on illusion, this might be one of the few places where ghosts are real. So we are going to go ahead and get to the marketing stuff later, the stuff you actually really probably came here for. But we're going to do a couple of things first. First, I'm going to go ahead and show you around my room that I got here at Binion's. I paid for this out of pocket. It was like $80. No resort fees, which is big because this is the only place in Vegas, I'm pretty sure, that doesn't have resort fees. But we're also going to go outside because we're going to go ahead and knock off a bucket list item. I have never been on Fremont Street after midnight, and it sounds pretty rowdy out there. So might as well walk around and just see what it's like. And then you can kind of have an idea of what's going on outside of the Hotel Apache at Binion's while we're back on the inside. We'll go ahead and take a look at some of the hallways, and then we'll get to the meat and potatoes of what you actually want. So that was my restroom here, bathroom that was just in. Pretty old school. The whole thing is supposed to go ahead and match how it was in the 1910s and the 1930s. So, that's the whole like boutique aesthetic, I guess, that you're getting a period accurate room. It's pretty small, got a double bed. It's got a bunch of old-timey stuff in here too, like old-timey radio, creepy lamps, some frame photos of the area back in the heyday. Got old phone, and yeah, not much. But what I can definitely tell you is that that window, I can hear everything outside through that. And that AC unit, the wall-mounted one, that thing gets loud. You've probably heard it in the video so far. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I'm gonna be quiet for just like a few seconds. Yeah, you can hear like the whole entire Fremont Street experience like right outside the window. So I don't know if I'm gonna be getting any sleep tonight.
Jump harder.
So the showroom over there is actually closed. That's also part of the original hotel. But yeah, the Fremont Street is crazy. It is crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, what I like about this place is that it always definitely feels like old school Vegas. From the table games to some of the deals that they've got going on. You can see the photos on the wall that show some of the history of this being one of the original Vegas casinos downtown. So, fun fact about Binion's, it was one of the first casinos to actually have air conditioning. I'm pretty sure it also had one of the first elevators, and let me tell you, this thing is kind of disgusting. I don't know if you can see the floor. It's also cramped and allegedly haunted. This is not where I wanted to go. How do I get to where I want to go? Okay, I pressed close and it just opened again. It sent me to the wrong floor, which is kind of creepy. I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and take the stairs. Yeah, so the elevator is not an option right now, so going back up the stairs. It is crazy how it's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning and this whole street, everything, even the casino floor, is just full of people. Anyone saying that Vegas is dead is not coming to Vegas, because we are seeing two very different things, my friend. If you saw some of the people I saw going around the floor, you go ahead and lock that thing too. I think this is how you know you've been married for a while, because like I showed you this room and everything earlier, and like it's enough, and especially if you're coming to Vegas and you just need like a place to sleep and leave your stuff. But like this shower was like as big as one of the showers I had when I was like in the army and stuff. An old broke me would have been like, you know what, who cares, it's just a place to stay. New married me is like, man, like this place is not that nice. $86 right on like Fremont Street. Like who's seriously gonna argue? So, you know, you get what you pay for. I mean, we're not talking about like the Trump or the win or anything. It is what it is. And I mean, right now I have it like right up to the window and you can still hear like everything outside. Like this is either a pro if you really want the full experience, or if you actually want to like sleep or maybe experience something paranormal. It's probably not going to be that easy. So it is 2:18 in the morning. I tried taking, a break. I tried going to sleep for like half an hour. I gave myself 15 minutes to 45 minutes, so that way my phone and everything could charge. And I've been up all day and I am just exhausted. And I wanted to try and wait a little bit later into the night and everything, because there's so many people out there. I don't want to be going through the hallway and trying to like, see if anything creepy happens and bother anybody or freak anyone out or anything. But it is so loud. I can even feel like the walls shake, and it's not just everything going on Fremont Street, but it's just people in the hallway as well. So I'm gonna wait till like 3 o'clock. That's like the witching hour. That's when apparently paranormal activity is supposed to be the strongest. But for now, I guess we'll just go ahead and keep the video going. Now, as you guys have seen, outside and even on the inside near the check-in, they've got everything promoting the haunted encounters at Binion's. And they go ahead and give you this when you go ahead and get into your room. It's actually a flyer that has a bunch of the stories about the types of things that people have encountered. They really, really promote this as a place where you're going to come here and you're going to experience something. They even have a whole area of this pamphlet dedicated to room 400. This is the most haunted room at Binion's. They have a VIP haunted experience where they will actually pick you up from the airport in a Cadillac. They'll bring you here. They'll give you a ghost hunting kit, and then they'll put you in room 400. And, whatever happens, happens. Now, they've got a couple stories here. Upon walking into the room, I felt my throat tighten. I used the ghost equipment to look for spirits, but they found us. Flashlight turned on and off, and the REM pod went off at 3:30 a.m. It was going crazy, and a man and his kids were playing drums. I heard people talking to each other on the elevator that we were on earlier. But when the doors opened, there was no one on the elevator. I was heading down to the casino from my room, and I saw a guy on top of the stairs. He had a black and white suit on and just stared at me. As I got closer, he faded. So we're just gonna chill here for a little bit until around like 3:30. And then we'll go around, just walk around, see if anything happens, and then probably just call it a night because I am exhausted. So now let's get down to the lesson. Las Vegas has no shortage of luxury hotels, massive casinos, celebrity restaurants, giant pools, but hidden inside of Binion's on Fremont Street is something completely different, the Hotel Apache. And what makes it interesting isn't just that it's old, there's plenty of old places, is that they turned being haunted into a brand. When the Hotel Apache reopened in 2019, they didn't try and compete with the strip-on luxury. They actually leaned into the old Vegas history, and that means the ghost stories, the mob era energy, and the paranormal tourism. Because that's the power of boutique hospitality. Instead of selling a room, they sold an experience. So here are the 5 smart things the Hotel Apache has done and the 5 lessons that businesses can learn from it for their marketing. So first of all, they embrace the haunted identity. Most businesses hide the weird things that make them different. Well, as we've seen, the Hotel Apache did the opposite. They openly promote themselves as being haunted. That instantly makes them memorable. Second, they tapped into ghost hunting and paranormal culture. YouTubers, TikTok creators, travel vloggers, and paranormal investigators all became free marketing for the hotel. People weren't just looking to book a room here, they were booking a story. Now third, they created emotional immersion. The old hallways, the vintage atmosphere, the eerie energy that you feel, guests feel like they're stepping into another era in Vegas history. And that's important because people remember feelings more than features. Fourth, they used uniqueness and scarcity. There are thousands of hotel rooms in Las Vegas, but there's only one Hotel Apache. And that exclusivity actually creates natural word-of-mouth marketing. And fifth, they embrace storytelling over perfection. The age of the property became the part of the charm instead of something to hide. Now, here's the bigger lesson for businesses. Your weirdness might actually be your advantage. Hear me out. Most brands try and appeal to everybody and end up being forgettable. The Hotel Apache doubled down on what made it different, and that became part of the marketing identity. Experiences beat transactions. Niche identity beats generic branding, and emotional storytelling creates loyalty. So the Hotel Apache proves that sometimes the best marketing strategy isn't becoming more modern, it's becoming more memorable. And see how I was able to go ahead and read off that entire script from the teleprompter without coffee or my glasses at, whatever time in the morning it is? Yeah, because I'm a pro. Okay, it is 3:44 a.m. on Saturday. We're gonna go ahead and walk through the hallways, see some of the haunted rooms, and see if anything pops up. Okay guys, there are cameras all over the place. I do know there are a couple security, so I don't know how they're gonna feel about us walking around at this time with the camera. So we're gonna try and just be really quiet and make this quick and just get some of the stories from the placards outside the rooms. So this is actually as quiet as it's been all night. Now all those stories, all those testimonials from people about the hauntings here that you see in like the pamphlet and on the website and on the wall, those are actually on the placards to certain rooms to show you where supposed hauntings and paranormal activity actually took place for some of the guests here. So my room obviously had no haunting experience. Doesn't mean it's not haunted, but nobody who stayed in that room has reported anything. That's kind of creepy. See the cameras here. Let's try and get a few more. Okay, room 260. Flickering on, cell phone turned on. I mean, you really cannot walk around here without something creaking. I mean, this place is so old, and I mean, just looking down this hallway, there are plaques everywhere. This means that each room here has had something happen in this part of the hallway. Someone kept moving my things in the room when using the ghost kit. I asked if someone moved my things, and someone said yes. We videotaped the room several times. Always found an orb everywhere with some zigzagging across the room. And it just goes on and on and on and on. Okay, I said I would go out around the witching hour. We would go find some of the plaques and talk about it. I'm hearing voices, but I can't tell those are from TVs and some people downstairs. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that this 5-minute adventure is over. Your boy is tired and it's time to go back to sleep. I will point out one thing. I just walked back into my room and my phone started acting really weird. I'm not gonna chalk that up to anything paranormal, but what I will say is that this has actually happened several times throughout the night. And, technology around here does happen to act weird when something spiritual or whatever is trying to mess with it. So just an observation, not making a claim, just making an observation that is probably the closest thing I've encountered tonight so far. Now I'm going to keep the phone next to me, so if anything happens while I'm trying to sleep, I can quickly grab it and we can do a recording. But, my room does not have one of those placards, so maybe nothing happens here, or maybe stuff did. No one just ever reported it. Maybe I'll be the first to do that. We'll see. Honestly, not really in the mood tonight. Just kind of want to go sleep. Okay, it's around 6:48 a.m. on Saturday. Decided I got tired of hearing Motley Crue and AC/DC tribute bands all night. Nothing happened, and the mattress wasn't too great, so I am going home. Guys, that's a wrap. Didn't experience anything paranormal, but had fun throughout the process, and hope you went ahead and learned something new at the same time. Go ahead and catch you next time on the channel.